Hey, everybody, this is Scott Carson from WeCloseNotes.com, and I'm going to share with you over the next 45 minutes why real estate investors need to start investing in notes in 2026 and why it's going to be the number one strategy for successful real estate investors out there. Now, I know we've got a variety of people here watching this, and feel free to reach out to me. We got a lot of folks that are new to real estate investing, kind of overwhelmed of where to begin and what strategies are working in today's market. Not only with the chaos of the mortgage markets, with defaults increasing, values dropping, and all sorts of states passing legislation that are going to outlaw a lot of things, you're in the right spot tonight. I know a ton of tired landlords who are tired of dealing with toilets, tints, and trash outs. They don't want to deal with property management, especially during the warm or cold weather. They're dealing with ACs going out or pipes freezing. Not a fun thing to be doing. Now, I also know we've got a lot of fix and flippers on here. I hear from you guys and gals every day how you can't find deals that make sense, or they're overpaying for rehab materials, or labor is dwindling. We don't deal with any of that in the note investing business, and I'll share with that. Are you an apartment investor who's been burned by the overpricing of multifamily apartment complexes across the country? I've got friends that are in syndications, and I got especially one buddy who's in 20 syndications and 19 aren't paying. We all know that the multifamily market's been hit hard. Why don't I show you a smarter way to invest in 2026? And then, are you a passive investor out there looking to put your lazy assets or your IRA funds into something besides the stock market that'll go up and go down? You want to get better than what a bank is offering you at 1 to 2%? Do you have a CD? There's a certificate of disappointment, not making anything. If you're looking to make an above average return in your retirement accounts or checking or savings, then you're in the right spot tonight with me. Now, I always like to ask folks here, what if I could show you an investment strategy where you are sent lists of deals each month at bigger discounts and bigger returns, where you can be as active as you want to be or as passive as you want to be? Yes, this type of investment does exist. All right, we've been doing it for over 18 years. When I'm talking about deals, I'm talking about deals without the headaches of toilets, tanks, and trash outs, even termites, deals without the huge competition at the foreclosure market or the distressed asset list or vacant list where you're competing against hundreds of other real estate investors trying to do that. None of that exists. And I'm also going to share with you deals that have multiple exit strategies that are profitable. And guess what? Deals all across the United States that you can do without having to live in the same area. Yes, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but what am I talking about? I'm talking about note investing, where we get lists of deals on residential and commercial real estate. And guess what? We, yes, can cherry pick those deals, and we're going to see those deals 6 to 12 months ahead of the regular competition, 6 to 12 months ahead of before properties hit the MLS or the foreclosure auctions. It's a great opportunity. Most people don't know about it. Those that are doing this are doing very great things and being very successful as note investors out there. Well, who is this guy you're talking to? Well, I'm Scott Carson, and I'm a note investor. I'm known across the country as a note guy, and I've been helping real estate investors like yourself, both brand new and seasoned, buy and invest in notes since 2008. That's right. We've been around since the last Great Recession. Previous mortgage broker, previous financial advisor, but I'm known, like I said, across the country as a note guy. Been just about everywhere. Talked on over 400 different podcasts. I have my own podcast, The Note Closure Show, which is number one. We wrote a best-selling book, How to Buy Real Estate at 40% Off. And I've spoken to just about every major investment club conference in the United States out there over the last, like I said, since 2008. And I am the number one authority when it comes to investing in non-performing notes. And so I want to share with you a little bit of insight on how successful you can be when you focus on this niche. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, plenty of opportunities still exist out there. And I like to say I teach tired real estate investors how to make above average returns without ever owning the property by becoming the bank. Now, if you want to own the property, own the real estate, great. But I think most of us, we don't want to work harder. We want to work smarter. We want to focus on cash flow. We want to make regular income along with some big checks. And that's the great thing about the note business. You can do both here. Let's actually take a look at some of our students' case studies recent case studies, not stuff that's been around for 5, 10, 20 years, stuff that people have bought in the last couple of years here for you. This is my buddy Cal. This is sorry about the blurry picture here, but this is actually a property in Round Rock, Texas. And guess what? Cal doesn't live in Texas. He doesn't even live in the United States. He's from Canada. but he's been investing in Central Texas and the United States for a while. He prefers performing paper, but he also came across this deal in Round Rock. House was worth close to 400,000. He could buy the note for 175. It was fully occupied. Borrowed some equity deal. She was an older lady. He didn't want to foreclose on this lady, so he worked to do a deal, a cash for keys deal. Gave the lady some of her equity to walk. Actually, gave her like 75 grand in cash to walk from the deal, and he turned around, rehabbed the property really quickly, turned around and sold it, and it was his number one profitable deal since he started as a real estate investor about 10 years ago. He made over $100,000 in profit on this deal by only having to do a light rehab, like paint carpet and a few little things on it. House was in great condition. Didn't have to be an ugly deal. He's also bought probably about another dozen notes that are performing notes, bringing in about a 16 to 17% cash and cash return, which are great. But this was the largest deal of his career. Really excited about this deal, and we helped him through the process. And this, like I said, it's a nice little deal in Round Rock, Texas here for you. Don't have to live currently. He leveraged attorneys and servicing company and local boots on the ground to make this happen without him even having to show up to see the property. All right. This is a property down in Mayo, Florida. This is Sterling James. Now, Sterling works full time, is a CPA. Now, previous one, Cal still works full-time job in the oil industry up in Canada as well, besides being a part-time real estate investor. Sterling has been a part-time real estate investor probably for about 20 years, but works for a CPA firm. He came across this note in the list we were working with him on. Little property, owner occupied down in Mayo, Florida. A lady lived there for years, had a chunk of equity in the deal. I think it was worth about 120. She only owned about 70. He ended up buying the note for 30, 35,000 in his, you guessed it, his self-directed IRA. And in the first year, because the borrower filed bankruptcy, which for most real estate investors is a bad thing, but for note investors is a good thing. So based on the monthly payments she's making in the BK payment, her existing payments, plus what she brought to the table, on the low end, he's making a 28% cash on cash return for the next 10 to 20 years in his IRA. His first year ROI is higher than 28%, and he's doing this because he lives all the way across the country. Guess what? In Portland, Oregon. And this one is in Florida. You don't have to be local. Like I said, he's leveraging attorneys, servicing companies, and great vendors to get this done for him without having to be present. This is John Gore. This is a property in Detroit, Michigan. And it's actually a duplex, if you can't tell by the roof being a little bit different. But John lives in New Jersey. He works full time, has his own clinic and stuff like that. He's a psychologist. He wants something much more passive. He's flipped properties. He's done commercial. He likes the passivity and the returns that note investing offers him. He on this one deal on the right side there, he's getting $600 a month in cash flow off of purchasing the note. Now I know most renters or most landlords with rentals are seeing $200 to $250 a month. John doesn't want to do that. $600 a month in cash flow on the deal, and guess what? He paid $20,000 for that asset that's worth $80,000 now. Now, John is very, very happy. Actually, he's bought about 20 different notes that are returning, guess what? A 22% cash and cash return on investment for his note investing portfolio. He's tickled pink. He loves the note business, would love to do it full time, but he loves what he does as well in his full time job. And like I said, his 20 deals he's bought have been all across the country, none of them in New Jersey. New Jersey is actually a state that we actually don't like to buy in because it takes forever to foreclose. But there's plenty of opportunities across the country. And these were all from other note sellers. There were some from a hedge fund, a couple from a bank. And so great stuff, great all institutional debt that he purchased. This is a property in South Carolina. This is one of our coaching students, Larry. Larry lives in Cincinnati, was in IT, been a real estate investor for years, but really wanted to get back into making some passive returns. And guess what? This was his first note. He was so scared about buying this non-performing note where the borrower was actually, this is a triplex. You can't tell, but it's a triplex where they hadn't paid their mortgage note in over 8 months or close to a year. And their monthly P&I payment was only like $343 a month. Well, we worked with Larry. We helped him get a better deal on this deal. He only paid $13,000 for this triplex worth $80,000 in North Augusta, South Carolina. I mean, real estate's a little cheaper somewhere. But guess what? He was afraid in reaching out to the borrower. The servicing company picked up the phone, called him. He answered on his first phone call. He brought some money to the table. and now is paying Larry, I think, a double payment each month, something like that for this deal. Basically, on the $13,000 investment, Larry is making over a 31% cash on cash return. We've helped Larry buy over six figures in notes, and he's doing a great job out there. Very proud of him. Like I said, he lives in Cincinnati. This one was in Augusta, South Carolina. Did it all sight unseen without having to be there. This is a beautiful property down in South Florida. Catherine Bell, who lives in Phoenix, Arizona, actually Scottsdale, Arizona. We helped her take down this deal. This was, like I said, it's part of a hedge fund closing out this deal and another one. This one dragged on for a while. Now, if you like pretty properties and expensive properties, there's plenty of those out there. There's a lot of those in distress these days. This one, we got a real great deal from the hedge fund. We're not going to tell you what we paid for it, but it did take a while. It took about 2 years of working through the foreclosure and dealing with the borrower who was dragging things out and making it difficult. Once we were able to foreclose and evict the borrower out of like I said, it's near Miami, put a little bit of work into it, turned around and was able to sell it. It sold in just under a month, and she made well over six figures in her share of the deal, over $250,000 in profit on this deal. The house was worth 900 when she first bought the note, and then it appreciated over the time frame to over 1.1 and basically got a full price offer on this. So kudos to her. Now, this is a new deal. This is a new investor. This is a property north of Austin here, on the east side of 35. This is Judy Richards. Judy lives in Portland, Maine, and she's buying this note in Central Texas. Now, the great thing about this, she just funded this deal about a month ago. It's about to go to foreclosure. The borrower's already deceased, so there's no way to get the borrower back on track. Family's not around, and the property's in great condition. And it came from a list of one of like 43 other notes that a hedge fund is looking to sell. So she's going to make, if it sells at the auction next month, she bought it at a discount. She won't make that much at the auction, about 15K. But if it doesn't sell at the auction, which we predict it probably won't, she'll take the asset back and make 50K or more in profit. Property's in great condition, needs just to basically clean out. And who knows what the market's going to do in the next 30 to 60 days, expecting a 90 to 120 day hold time for her. But she's using her self-directed IRA, and she's going to make if it does sell at the foreclosure auction, if she makes 15K, guess what? She's going to make about a 25% return in her IRA. If you annualize that by 3 times, that's a pretty good deal. Now, if it takes her 6 months to go through and update it and sell it and close that, still going to make a phenomenal return, tax-free, in her self-directed Roth IRA. Great, great deal is taking place right now. Here's another deal. This is Brian Dills. Him and his wife, Lisa, are school teachers in the Fort Worth area. They want to create cash flow so that they can leave the job they dislike. We all know teachers work way too hard. And this is a property, I believe it's out in West Texas. And it's really kind of an interesting deal on that. The borrower only owed like $25,000, but the house is worth over 100. Brian was able to negotiate buying that performing note at a discount, and it's yielding him, guess what, $560 a month in cash flow. And based on year one numbers, if they keep paying that $560 a month, what they should, it's going to be a 25% cash and cash return to him or higher for him. Now, he only needs, as he says, about 7 or 8 of these to be able to leave his job to start doing something that he wants. Now, he's bought a couple notes. He's had one that was a non-performing note. He didn't understand what he was doing. He lost a little bit of money on that one, but this one is going to make up for it far and beneath. But he learned a lot in that first deal. We're holding his hand through his next deals, but we're so proud of what Brian and Lisa are doing. They're changing the trajectory of where they're at. Like I said, school teachers, and they work in the juvenile detention center area up there, so they're having even a tougher time. Well, how many $560 a month do you need to retire? How many notes do you need to change what you do on a day in, day out basis? And Brian is working hard to take advantage of that. He used his own funds on this one, but he's also raising private capital and doing a great job with that as well. Here's a deal that we just got in. This is Colin Whitneck. Now, Colin is not a mortgage. He's a real estate broker in Denver, Colorado. This ugly property you see behind him is outside in Fayetteville, North Carolina. No, I think it's Greenville, North Carolina. But he bought this note knowing it was ugly like this because it was his first deal. And guess what? He never rehabbed it. He never walked the property. He did everything leveraging servicers, attorneys, and realtors in that area. And guess what? He still made a $31,000 profit, even though it took about 7 to 9 months for him to foreclose on it. And that $31,000 profit is a 29% cash on cash return on invested for the deal. Needs some work. It dragged out a little bit longer because some issues on the legal description, stuff like that. But guess what? Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and he still came out smelling like roses. That's why he's like, I'm tired of the real estate side. I'm tired of being a real estate broker. I want to be a full-time note investor, and we're working through that process. Once again, we like to focus on cash flow, but we also like to see, make sure if it doesn't cash flow, it's gonna get some big checks there for you. And last but not least is our good buddy Phil Berdua, another Canadian investing here in the United States. This one is in actually Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this property, he bought the note, offered a loan modification payment plan to the borrower because he likes cash flow too. He's been in the loan business up in Canada. It's a little bit different market up there. And he's bought about 15 to 20 notes here in the United States with our help. But this one was the first non-performing note he bought. It took about 9 months to foreclose. And guess what? He made a $50,000 profit, which equates to over a 20% ROI on this deal. And it's a beautiful property. You know, the last one was kind of ugly. This one's kind of pretty. And Phil loves the note business as well. And this is what he wants to do full time. Look, I could go on and on the amount of amazing students that we've helped teach, the amount of deals that we've done. I could show you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deals that I've closed, but I would rather show you real case studies that are taking place right now in the market. And there's never been a better time to be buying non-performing notes because we are seeing plenty of the inventory. People always say, oh, there's not that many deals out there. That's not true. We are seeing a ton. And like I said, we like to focus on the cash flow first. We're a bank. That's how a bank makes money, is in the cash flow and making loans. And while we're not making new loans, we're buying existing loans. And we leverage servicing companies to collect, to take care of the licensing aspect of the state level. The borrower won't play ball. We hire attorneys to handle the foreclosure, the bankruptcy, and the workout aspect of it. And what you have to realize when you're in the non-performing note space, there's a variety of different ways to make money. There's 11 different exit strategies and ways to make money. But like I said, we like to focus on the cash flow first. If that doesn't work, then we go towards the real estate side of things. But we never buy a note that we're not going to make money if we do have to foreclose. Now, let's talk about some of the different strategies briefly here. Now, for those of you that out there, they're wholesalers, they've talked about wholesale and real estate, guess what? You can help wholesale notes as well. I think you're doing more work than you need to be, and you might as well look at buying, because the way that we teach you to raise private capital, you can make the lion's share versus the short end of the stick. Now, of course, you can buy performing notes for cash flow that don't need any work yet. If you've got money sitting in an IRA or retirement account, pretty easy for us to go find you performing notes that are going to yield an 8 to 12% return for you. That could be a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year deal for you. Those are phenomenal deals out there, and there's plenty of opportunities for that. We like to buy non-performing notes at a discount and then work to rehab the borrowers to start getting cash flow, getting payments in. The yields on that stuff is through the roof, and that's what we like to do. Of course, borrowers don't always want to pay, so when we buy the notes at a discount, we may work to get paid off by either A, helping them sell the property, or them coming to the table and paying off the note, depending on how much is owed on that. We've had that happen. Or helping them to have somebody come in and take over the payments and go from there. Or even helping them get refinanced out in some cases. We've helped a couple borrowers get a reverse mortgage and pay us off and stay in the house for you. Of course, we don't like to do this, but it still happens about 20, 30% of the time of buying that note at a discount. Borrower's not willing to work with us, or they've deceased. So our strategy is then to foreclose and then take the property back. And like I said, take the property back, we're going to turn around either A, sell it at the foreclosure auction for a profit, or B, take it back. If it doesn't sell, do a light fix up and turn around and sell the property on the MLS with the agents. And most of the time, we're buying them at such a big discount, we can sell them pretty close to as is. We don't have to do major rehabs unless you want to do like Colin did with his. All right. Now, give you a bit of an idea what we are doing. Number one, we buy notes direct from banks. Most people, when they hear about the note business, they think of owner financing or creating paper and trying to sell the paper after owner finance a property. Now, we will buy some owner finance notes, but we're getting so many deals and so many lists of non-performing notes or reperforming notes from banks in our hedge fund contacts, we have them sent to us. And it's always been much more efficient for us to buy direct from banks who are going to send us on a regular basis without having to do a lot of marketing. All right. And the number two thing, we become the bank. When we buy that note, we literally have all the same rights that the bank does. We try to work it out with the borrowers for cash flow if we can. If something's got to make sense. All right. We're not going to allow them to stay in their property if they're not going to start making payments. Okay. And if that doesn't work, we'll move on to number three, basically some sort of liquidation. We'll foreclose. And like I said, we'll either sell the note at the auction or take it back. And you can do what you want with those REOs, which stands for real estate owned. When you foreclose and it doesn't sell, you take the property back. You can keep it, you can rehab it, you can sell it, do whatever you want to, move into it if you want to. But that's basically our four pillars of what we're doing on a regular basis with these list of notes. Cash flows first. That's why it's all about the cash flows king. All right. And we're buying notes where we're going to see a significant amount of cash flow. Not $200 a month, not $100 a month, which we see most landlords dealing with. We ain't creating another job. We want to do it where we're getting passive returns without having to do all the heavy lifting that most people are out there doing. And a couple of things else. We only buy first liens. Only buying first liens. We're buying at 70% of value or less most of the time. We are buying all across the country. We're actively buying about 20, 30 different states and markets. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can cherry pick deals. There are people out there that tell you, you're too small. The bank won't sell to you. Well, that's a bunch of horse shit. We do get these huge lists in that we can cherry pick. Lenders are telling us, please buy something. I don't care if it's one or 100, buy something. And that means there's a ton of opportunity for you guys and gals out there looking to buy your first note, or you're looking to put 50K to work in an IRA, or you want to do something different in 2026 than what you did last year. And the great thing about when you buy a note or get a bid accepted, you've got time for due diligence. You're going to check out the collateral file. You're going to check the property value. You're going to look at what's going on with that borrower through the servicing notes. What's the payoff? What's going on? We literally see, as I would say, beneath the kimono when it comes to the due diligence. We see what's going on. If the value doesn't match up or there's issues there, we have the right to cancel the bid and walk away unscathed. All right. And the great thing about this, we fund using either OPM, other people's money, and a lot of that comes from self-directed IRA investors out there. And we show you how to raise private capital. We show you how to connect with private investors. Private investors, especially self-directed IRA investors, love notes. It's actually probably the best asset class for their self-directed IRA to be invested in passively. Because you know, if you have a self-directed IRA, you can't go out and fix the property yourself. You've got to be passive, and it makes it a perfect opportunity for IRA investors. Now, give you a bit of an idea of where these deals are at. This is a quick map of a list of notes that we got in a couple weeks ago. This is 229 notes just in Texas alone. No, I don't have to buy them all. They're anyone from like a $38,000 balance up to like a $1.1 million balance. All first liens, all in default of at least 6 months to sometimes 3 years for us to be able to cherry pick. And we're going to probably submit about 25 to 30 offers off of this stuff. All right, it's all across the state of Texas. Now, there's also another tape here, or we call it a tape as an Excel spreadsheet. This is one shows across the country. The reason I'm showing you is to get a bit of an idea of where our deal flow is at. Now, yes, it can be a little intimidating if you're, say, from Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon, trying to buy a note in Texas. But that's the great thing about the note business. That's the great thing about it being 2026. You don't have to jump on a plane, fly out, take a look at it. There are third-party vendors. We show you how to do all the due diligence from remote. If it doesn't make sense, then we cancel the bid and move on from there. So many opportunities out there. And by opportunities, we literally just got a list in and just did a recent live stream where we were going through 4,236 notes in a live breakdown. We do this on a regular basis, one of our podcasts. Plenty of opportunity. I'm telling you that right now. This came direct from a hedge fund. We're seeing so much opportunity out there that if you're not getting into this, you are literally missing out. If you can't find a rental property that makes sense because property is too expensive, guess what? Get in the note business, make better cash flow without the headaches of property ownership or property management. Nobody calls the bank when the pipes break. Nobody calls the bank when the HVAC stops working. All right. Being the bank is where it makes sense. All right. And one of the great things about what we've done and been doing this for golly, it's hard to believe, teaching people how to do this for 16 years. We'll teach you how to find these deals direct from banks. Okay. No, you don't need to send out thousands of letters and postcards and crap like that. Now, we'll show you how to connect using smart 2026 strategies through like LinkedIn or direct emails. We'll show you how to find these deals direct from banks and how to have them send them to you on a regular basis. We'll teach you how to raise money. We'll show you how to tap into all sorts of self-directed IRA funds and OPM and how do you attract that to fund your deals. So if you don't have your own funds, don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll show you how to raise capital, and everybody is capable of raising $1 million in the next 90 days. I mean it. We'll teach you the due diligence process, how to evaluate a note, evaluate the property, how to evaluate the paperwork. We'll show you from A to Z how to make sure it's a deal and not a dud. And the great thing, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to do this all yourself. So many real estate investors strike out and get into bad deals because they over rehab the property or they overpay for the asset. No, 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 no. We'll share our vendors list with you. People that you can reach out, servicing companies, insurance, title companies, due diligence, tax stuff. We'll share our whole vendor list with you so you have a team ready and willing to help you, but also tons and tons of experience so you don't have to start off as a greenhorn. You step into the shoes with experienced team to help you avoid making mistakes. And like I said, if you need more help, we'll hold your hand through the process. That's right. Somebody's closed over $1 billion in distressed debt. I'll share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly so you don't make the same mistakes we made starting off. When we started doing this back in 2007, 8, 9, there wasn't a lot of resources, but now there's a ton of resources for you, and we'll show you the right way to make it money in this market without striking out. Okay. And like I said, we're here for cash flow as real estate investors. We'll show you how to create a six-figure income by becoming a Lienlord, not a landlord. We'll show you how to make money becoming a Lienlord, the bank, versus the fix and flipper or the rehabber. That's the old way of doing things. Let's work smart in 2026 and take advantage of the huge amount of distressed debt out there in residential and commercial real estate for you. All right. And one thing I want you guys to know, the best way for you to learn this is actually to check out our regular note buying workshops. We host about 4 events a year. Our next one is upcoming the end of February here in Austin, Texas. All right, we should travel across the country, but we do them here in Central Texas because it's easy for folks on the East Coast and the West Coast to fly out here. It's our home base. It's February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fly in on the night of the 26th so you can network with investors. The next class is going to be a virtual workshop in mid-May. The great thing, if you can't make it to February, hey, go ahead and sign up. Get the discount and you'll be ready to rock and roll. We'll actually send you out the replays to the November virtual workshop so you can start learning today. You don't have to wait till March. You don't have to wait till May to learn. You can get started today, start tapping into these deal flows that we have available for you. Now, the great thing, ladies and gentlemen, we've been teaching this workshop, it's hard to believe, since 2010. I've been the Note Educator of the Year. We've helped thousands of note investors or real estate investors, as I say, come over to the sexy side of real estate by learning how to find, fund, and flip. And I'm a no BS, no smoke blowing up your ass investor. I'm not for everybody, and that's A-OK. I'm going to shoot it to you straight and share with you the good, the bad, the ugly. Yes, note investing can be phenomenal, but it does take some time. This is not a get-rich scheme. This is buying notes, becoming the bank, working out the deals with borrowers or going through the foreclosure process. And every state has a different foreclosure time frame. The best thing I can tell you, come get signed up for our workshop. If it's not the best class you've ever taken when it comes to note investing, let me know at the end of day one. We'll refund your money back, no questions asked. We have a 100% money back guarantee, and we stand by that. So how do you get signed up? You go to notebuyingfordummies.com or our website at weclosenotes.com. Click on the link for education. Sign up for our 3-day class. Like I said, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, tickets are normally $9.97 per person, but we're doing a special with it being the first class of the year and an in-person class here. We want to fill the class up fast. There's only 50 seats. And if you go to notebuyingfordummies.com and sign up today, you can grab your seat at 50% off for like $4.97 and some change. And that's good for you plus a spouse. That's right. Come on, spend a couple days with me here in Austin, Texas. Get some great Texas hospitality, some barbecue and fun. Network with about 50 other note investors out there who are doing some big things in this great market for note investors. Like I said, Friday's all about finding deals from banks and hedge funds. Saturday's all about the marketing and the money side and the flow. Sunday's all about due diligence and deals and putting it all together. And like I said, your ticket price includes for you plus a spouse, and will include our 200 plus page manual and replay videos for you and a host of other resources to help you make the most out of your class and help you start kicking ass and taking names as a note vendor and get off and running for you. Once again, guys, get signed up today at notebuyingfordummies.com. Like I said, it's going to be one of the greatest things. We also are going to do something a little bit different here. For those that come to our class that close on a note in their first 6 months, if you're taking a class, we'll refund the class back to you. That's right. Done it before, haven't done it in a while. We're going to do that again here for those of you because we have such a huge opportunity right now. We want you to make offers. We want you to close on deals. So come out, get trained, learn how to do this stuff. And the first deal you close within 6 months, we'll refund the tuition back for you and just absolutely do it willingly and very gladly for you to go out and make a difference in your life, in your future, for not only you, but your family and beyond. So don't care what your why is, whether it's your family, your kids, your parents, getting out your JOB, note investing can help you achieve that why. And we want to help you take it to the next level. And like I said, we've helped thousands of investors out there close on great and amazing deals, and we can help you do the same as well. So get signed up today, notebuyingfordummies.com. Get signed up. You'll get an email from me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly at talkwithscottcarson.com. Question about the class or what we teach and how we do it, we're here to help. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Go out. Let's kick some ass. Make 2026 your most successful year. And let's turn you from a landlord into a Lienlord in 2026. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hey, real estate investor, Scott Carson here, and I'm excited to announce our next workshop. And actually, it's will be taking place live and in person here in Austin, Texas on February 27th, the 28th, and March 1st. Now, that's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I can't think of a better way to start off, hopefully, the warm part of the year by joining me for 3 days here of in person content. That's right. We'll show you how to find deals, how to fund deals, how to flip them, and then also how to get them to cash flow for you without using your own money. And we'll show you how to get banks, lenders, hedge funds to start sending you lists on a regular basis that, yes, you can cherry pick. Yes, you don't need to have 5, 10, $15 million in private capital to buy notes. Many of our students are buying with less than $25,000 on their first deal, and it's generating 250, 400, $500,000 a month in cash flow to them, and they're getting an infinite rate of return without even having to use their own money. That's right, they're leveraging self-directed IRA funds or OPM, other people's money to fund these deals. So encourage you to come out. This is our first live workshop in over 6 months. We'll only be doing 2 of them live here in Austin. The other 2 will be online. The next one will be till mid-May, maybe early June. And the great thing is we're keeping this to under 50 seats, and we have less than 25 seats available right now as I record this, about a month out from the actual class. So come on in, join us, get signed up at notebuyingfordummies.com or our website at weclosenotes.com. Normal ticket price is $9.97 per person. We're running a special 50% off, so it's $4.97 for you, plus a spouse or partner. We've got people coming in from across the country to join you for, like I said, 3 days. Come in, fly in Thursday night, spend all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, fly out Sunday night or Monday morning. We've got a ton of deals to be diving into, real tapes, real assets, some local, some all across the country, but more than enough to go around. And we want to have you come in and spend 3 days with us and give you a little bit of that Texas hospitality that we're known for here in Austin, Texas. That's right. Fly to Austin, come stay at the hotel, hang out for 3 days with a chunk of other note investors who are actually kicking ass and taking names in the note business right now, and spend 3 days with me and my team to help you create a 6-figure income for you and your family. So if you ever wanted to change what happened last year to you, want to make 2026 the most productive, then really the best thing you do is come spend time with me here in Austin, Texas. We'll have a great time. You'll have a 200 plus page manual, access to notes to cherry pick from. We'll even give you the video replays from our November workshop that you can start learning ahead of time or take with you after the class to be able to rock it all out. And of course, you've always got access to me and my AI clone to help you take to the next level. So get signed up today, notebuyingfordummies.com. We look forward to seeing you in Austin, and we'll see you at the top, everybody. Bye.